Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Yeah, the Preds are finally back home. I know it's just a 5-game road trip, but for some reason, it feels like they've been on the road forever. And I guess it's just been 2 weeks. The Boston game. I guess they went through that stretch. They had 6 games where they were alternating away and home. So they had a 2-game homestand back at the beginning of February. And then away, home, away, home, away, home, and then 5 games away. So it's hasn't felt like they've been at home very much. I guess we get 2 games here in Nashville with 1 game on the road and then 3 more here. Tonight's game is Seattle, the Seattle Kraken. Those of you recent followers, I used to live in the Seattle area for 16 years. 16 years, yeah. 16 years we left before the Kraken became a team, not before they were announced and not before we knew what the logo was. Almost bought tickets, but I couldn't face going downtown that many times. The area that the stadium is hard to get to, and problematic with traffic on the best days. And so it's like, well, do I really want to put myself into that position of having to go downtown, try to figure out how to park in a city that doesn't want cars in it, and go to a game? And I just couldn't do it. And it turns out good, because we wound up moving and actually bought season tickets for the Predators before we even left Seattle. So we had tickets. And and now here we are in Nashville without season tickets because life changes. You wake up in the morning and things happen, right? If you don't wake up, then you don't have those problems. Is it on the right side of the grass, I guess? So, but we did get lucky, did not get lucky when Premium was in town looking at tickets. I really thought we'd be able to get good tickets with a good viewing area, and wasn't able to do that, and kind of disappointed about that. But and thought when I looked at the tickets before Prudence left for school this morning, and told her I didn't think we were going to be going. Maybe we'd go to our backup plan was to go to the New Jersey game next Thursday. We might still, because there seems to be a lot of tickets. It's Pride night, but there are a lot of tickets available, and some at decent prices already. The thing that was kind of weird about the Seattle games, I looked at prices yesterday morning and I thought, oh, this is good. I ought to be able to score decent tickets at a decent price later today. And then when I came home, the tickets I had been looking at were more expensive. So this morning, took a quick glance, and same sort of thing, less tickets, and the tickets had gone up. And then before coming in here, I happened to find a couple of tickets, actually pretty good, pretty close to where we used to sit all the time, and up in the front row, and on an aisle. So, and reasonably priced. So, yeah, looks like we're going to be going because of Prudence's schedule during the week. I don't think we've made it past the second intermission because she's got to get up so early. Don't want to stay out too late. So we may be making an exit and listening to the third period on the road. Hopefully the Preds get a good start and do well. Yeah, and okay, so we do pull for the Kraken as well. We're primarily Kings fans, although that's especially with Kopitar retiring, becoming less of an issue. A lot of the players that we pull for not there anymore. And now that we're pulling for Nashville, kind of a little bit more focused on Nashville. So we still feel like we're primarily Kings fans, but close second is Nashville, and a distant third, Seattle. The last time, I guess last year when we went to a game, we wore our Kraken gear but pulled for the Preds, and we'll probably do that again tonight. The Kraken gear is just so cool. Of course, if this is the only game we're going to, did we go? I don't remember it's been so long. But yeah, so probably wear the Kraken gear tonight, maybe go to one of the upcoming games. And wow, there's not that many home games left. We got that 3-game homestand next week. Then they're on the road for 6, and then finishes out the season with 3 at home. So there's not that many games left anyway. Wow. Anyway, yeah, so then we finish off the season at home, Minnesota, San Jose, and Anaheim. A lot of teams that we're playing from here on out are teams that we're competing against for the playoffs, which is great. Nice that it works out that way. We're finishing the season with 2 Pacific teams. We play Anaheim twice in the last 5, and we've got 3 games against San Jose coming up between now and the end of the season. We're playing the Kings twice in LA. That 6-game road trip includes 2 games against LA, and then a back-to-back with LA and Anaheim. One of my favorite complaints as a Kings fan is that when teams come to the LA area, they always play the Kings first and then they go to Anaheim, and always feeling like Anaheim gets the better deal of that. I have seen that it's different, but it feels like every time I look at the schedule and it's that way, it is that way. So I'm not seeing all the schedules. So it's a schedule. It's a schedule. And it's something to complain about. Yeah, right. Okay, so that kind of briefly goes through the rest of the the Kings. I got Kings on my mind again. Through the Preds schedule for the rest of the season. Yeah, boy. If we're going to get to another game, next week might be our best opportunity. If it's going to be a lot of tickets, probably going to be rare at the end of the season with the Preds fighting it out for a playoff spot. So it might be a little bit more expensive to go at the end of the season. Yeah. Anyway, so that's again more of the Preds schedule. Let's just wrap up this segment. Cozy Earth. That's right. We're going to start with Cozy Earth today. Elevate the everyday unmatched comfort for all seasons in your life as opposed to somebody else's, but all seasons of life in your home. There you go. Preds Pro, 21% off. Before you go there, you might want to jack up the old energy so you can look at the website and be able to make sense of it and figure out what you want to do. So go to quantumsquares.com and pick up some quantum energy squares. Preds Pro, 25% off every day of the week. Quantumsquares.com, Preds Pro, CozyEarth.com, Preds Pro. Okay, so tonight, the Preds aren't on the road. This is going to be weird. I tell you, I just feel like the Preds haven't been home. I feel like I've been doing away games for months. But that's right. Tonight, the Seattle Kraken are here. This is not a home game played in some foreign country. It is a home game here at Bridgestone Arena. The Seattle Kraken here in Nashville, 7 o'clock tonight. Not Pacific, Central Time. I saw the Pacific Division, got confused. Yes, Seattle Kraken, 7 o'clock Central Time, Bridgestone Arena. Seattle is fourth in the Pacific Division with 71 points. They are 31-27-9 on the road, 14-13-4. They trail the Vegas Golden Knights by 5 points. They've played one less game. Vegas does have a 2-game regulation win advantage. They are tied in points with the Kings, but the Kraken have a 7-point regulation win advantage. They're tied, and they played the same number of games. And then right behind them are the Sharks, 1 point behind, 1 game less. And the Sharks have a 5-point regulation win disadvantage. So the Kraken have an advantage. Kraken have an advantage on everybody in the Pacific Division except Edmonton. And I think, and everybody, well, not Utah. So the top 4 teams in the Central, they don't have an advantage on, but they do have an advantage on Nashville, Winnipeg, St. Louis, and Chicago. So any team that they would be fighting with for the wild card spot, for the second wild card spot, they have a regulation win advantage. And like I said, Utah is in the first wild card spot. So there you go. That's where the Seattle Kraken are. They're currently in that second wild card spot. For Seattle, this is the first of a 6-game road trip. Saturday, they will be at Columbus. Then Tuesday, Florida, Sunrise, Florida. Thursday, Tampa Bay. Saturday, Buffalo. Tuesday, Edmonton. Boy, what a Columbus, Florida, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Edmonton. Yeah, okay. All right, whatever. I mean, that's true. It's heading back home. Go back to Seattle. This is the third of 3 versus Nashville. It's the only one in Nashville this year. The series is tied 1-1. Seattle won 4-1 on January 1st in Seattle, and then lost March 10th, about a little over a week ago, 2-4 in Seattle. Last year, they split in Nashville, and Seattle won in Seattle, so hopefully that'll stand up this year with the split in Seattle and Nashville winning in Nashville. Last year, Seattle was 2-1. They won in October in Nashville, and then got a shutout in November in Seattle, and then in March, lost in Nashville. So they won the first 2 and lost the last one. Their injured player list is a little better than it was when we met them the last time. Number 20 right wing Eli Tolvanen is still out, expected back on the 19th, so he might be back. He's been day-to-day since the 18th. So it looks like he must have been injured, came back and got injured again, or however that happened. Number 17, center Jaden Schwartz is week to week as of the 9th. He had been day-to-day. He had been expected back on the 10th of March, and now he's not expected back until April 2nd. The Kraken did recall on the 18th, number 38, right wing Yanni Nyman. He was recalled from the Coachella Valley Firebirds. And the trade, mentioned this at the last one, but I did go back and look. On the 6th, they did receive number 79 center Bobby McMahon from Toronto. And they sent Toronto a second-round 2027 and a fourth-round 2026 pick. And the 2027 pick is, I guess they have 3 picks, and Seattle has 3 picks in the second round of the 2027. There's Columbus and Winnipeg, and that pick is the later of Columbus and Winnipeg, whichever of those teams was the later pick. So that's what that one will get. It'll be determined later. And thought the name Bobby McMahon was on my radar if Nashville did a trade with Toronto for Marcia show, Bobby McMahon was one of the guys that I thought would be a good pickup for Nashville. I guess I got it right that they were willing to trade him, but he is with Seattle. For the Nashville Predators, the Predators are 5th in the Central Division, which is where they've been most of the season. A little scary there against Winnipeg. Winnipeg, had they won, would have taken over the 5th spot. But yeah, the Preds won, so they're still 5th in the Central, 69 points, 30, 28, and 9 at home, 17, 13, and 3. They are 7 points behind Utah. Utah has played one more game and has a 5-point regulation win advantage over Nashville. So they're looking pretty solid. Dallas did beat Colorado in overtime last night, so that's down to a 2-point advantage. So the top of the Central getting a little tighter. Dallas has a 6-point lead over Minnesota. Minnesota has a 14-point lead over Utah, and Utah has a 7-point lead over Nashville. So, running up here at the end of the season, teams have anywhere from 13 to 15 games to play, and the top 3 in the Central looking pretty solid, but the top spot now maybe in doubt. The 4th spot looking pretty solid for Utah, where that winds up in the wild card mix still to be determined. And then the Preds, the Jets, and the Blues fairly close. And Chicago's not that far behind the Blues, but let's have to say if you're in the playoff hunt, Winnipeg is as far back as you're going to go. If St. Louis had beaten Winnipeg the other night, they would be the one that people said might have an outside shot. But Blues still could. I mean, they're 6-2-2 in their last bunch of games. So they, outside shot. Calgary at 61, not so much. Vancouver at 50, definitely not. Their max is going to be 80. They haven't been ruled out yet. 80 points would put them at the top of the Pacific right now, but I don't know. I think maybe in the next week we'll see that they'll be tapped out. I thought maybe 2 weeks, but maybe the next week. The next week, maybe 2, definitely by the end of March, we'll start having teams being eliminated from playoff contention. And what have we got? So for the Preds, this is the first of a 2-game homestand. Saturday, they'll play Vegas at 1 o'clock, and then Sunday, they go to Chicago at 2 o'clock. So they've got a back-to-back over this weekend, Saturday in Nashville, Sunday in Chicago. Vegas going to be here at 1. I believe I remember that correctly. So it is an afternoon game. I don't care for the afternoon games. It just kind of breaks the day up a little weird. Anyway, Vegas will be here, and then they'll go on have a 1-game road trip, and then 3 games at home: San Jose, New Jersey, and Montreal. So that will be that. As far as personnel changes go, defenseman Adam Wilsby is still out, not expected back until the 22nd. And then there was a contract signing. Number 68 left wing Zachary Leroux got a 2-year contract worth $875K a year. He had been at $832K, so he got a little bit more. He did have a 2-way contract, so he was getting paid a different amount when he was in Milwaukee. But I didn't see whether his new contract, it said standard, so that might be a 1-way contract. I'm not sure if it's a 1-way or 2-way. That designation is on whether they get paid the same or different when they play in the AHL. So 2-way means they get paid 2 different ways, and 1-way means that he would receive his regular salary, his NHL salary, even if he was playing in the AHL for Milwaukee. I don't think they'd send him to Atlanta. I don't know how that works. But anyway, that is the update on the Preds, and so that will take us to stats. Yeah, home stats. Yeah, like I said, I feel like I just have not done this very much. So this is all new. Yeah, okay, so we'll start with the first goal. And when the Preds get the first goal, they're 9-3-1. So that's great. Like a 2-1 advantage for the Preds, putting that overtime loss into the loss column. So, like 9-4. So a little bit better than the 2-1 advantage for the Preds if they get the first goal. If it's in the first period, 7-3-1. In the second period, 2-0-0. And then if they don't get it, no hope is lost, 8-10-2. So not much of an advantage for the opposing team getting the first goal. If they get it in the first period, a little bit more, 6-9-2, almost a 2-1 advantage for the opposition in the first period. And then in the second period, it's happened 3 times where the opposition got the first goal in the second period, but the Preds are 2-1. So the 5 times the Preds have got 5 times in Preds games here at home that the first goal happened in the second period, the Preds are 4-1-0. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Not many data points, but we got to like that. As far as how the Preds do in each of the periods, the Preds, not a winning record in any of them, except shootout. Not a winning record. Starting with the first period, they are 8-9-16. So more likely to tie than anything else. And then if they don't tie, kind of a coin flip on whether they win or lose. If the Preds get the first game, they have not lost the first period, 8-0-5. And if they do not get the first goal, they have not won the first period. They're 0-9-11. Moving to the second period, 8-12-13, so just about as likely to lose as tie, and then third less likely to win, so that's not good. If they got the first goal, they're 4-5-4 in the second period, so pretty much a coin flip in every direction. And then if they did not get the first goal, the second period, they're 4-7-9, so not the best record in either case. And then moving to the third period, 10-15-8, so more likely to lose than anything else, unfortunately. If they did get the first goal, they're 5-5-3 in the third, so that's not too bad. That's like about a 500, ignoring the 3 overtime losses. And then if they did not get the first goal, they're 5-10-5, so as likely to lose as to tie or win. And then equally as likely to tie or win, 5-5 there. So, but how does that translate to? Yeah, what do we need to pull for? How does that translate to wins and losses? Been a while, don't remember. Okay, so the Preds have won the first period 8 times, and they're 5-3 in those games. The 9 times that they've lost the first period, they're 3-6. And then the 16 times that they tied it, they're 9-7. So a winning record with a tie or a win. So that's good. Let's move down to the second period. Again, 8 times they've won the second period. Is that right? 8. Did I not pick up on that? I did not pick up on that. 8. That's right. All right. Again, they are 5-3 in those 8 games. 12 times they've lost the second period. They're 3-9 in those games. And then 13 times a tie, 9-4. So again, win or tie, they've got winning records. So like that. In the third period, 10 times they've won the third period. They're 9-1. 15 times they've lost, 2-13. So not good there at all. And then tie 8 times, another win, 6-2. So all 3 periods, win and tie, have winning records, and not winning the period or losing the period has losing records. Winning and tying. So let's look at the combinatorics of the first and second here. And let's see, 8 times the thing that has happened the most out of win, losing, and tying the first and second combined is to tie the first and tie the second. That's right. I remember that now. 8 times, that's the most. 33 home games, 8 times. So about a quarter of the time they'll tie the first and tie the second. That's pretty remarkable. But they're 7-0-1. They have not lost. Ooh, can't say that. Don't say that. 7-0-1. That's what the record is. Not making comment, taking that back. Just a quick look here. Losing the second period. All the scenarios have losing records. There is one win in all the different combinations, but there are more losses in that circumstance. So losing the second period, a bad deal. Winning the second period does have wins, but the only winning record is to win both of them. If they lose the first, win the second, they're 1-1, and if they tie the first and win the second, they're 1-1. So that's no good. Like I said, losing the second doesn't have any good ramifications in any situation. Losing the first, tying the second happened 4 times. They're 1-3-0. So there's a lot of, I guess, as far as winning records go, there are only 3 scenarios that have winning records. Win the first, win the second, and 99% of the time, 98, 97.2. If you win 2 periods, you'll win the game. It's happened once this year where that was not the case. The Preds lost 2 periods by 1 goal in both of those periods and then scored 3 in the third. The last couple of years, whenever somebody lost 2 periods and still won, they had won 2 periods as well. But this time, this season, it was the Preds lost 2, 1-1, and won the game. I think that might have been at home. So win the first, win the second happened 3 times. They're undefeated in those. Win the first, tie the second. That's only happened once. And undefeated in that. And then tying the first, tying the second, 7-0-1. So those are the only 3 scenarios that have winning records. And so that is, what is that? You got to have some combination of wins and ties, no losses. If a loss happens anywhere in the first or second period, things don't look good. Win or tie the first or second, and win or tie the first and the second. So looking at just a quick glance here on the combinatorics between the second and third period. Very similar. If they lose the second period, they have a losing record in every outcome in the third. Not good. And not good. And the fact that the highest frequency of thing is to lose the second and tie the third, 6. Nope. Looking at that's the wrong record. That's away. So used to away. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Let's back up. The combinatorics of the second and third period. At home. Losing the second, winning the third is a winning record, 3-0-1. But lose the second, lose the third, 8 times, 8-0. That is the most frequent thing. And they have not lost the second and tied the third. That has not happened yet this season at home. So losing the second is only rectified by winning the third. I guess that kind of makes sense. Winning the third has a winning record in everything. As far as other winning records go, tying has winning records. So winning and tying the third. So winning and tying the third. Let's see. If winning and tying the first and second, losing the first has no good implications. So I guess I have to make sure they don't lose the first. Don't lose the first, and then win or tie the second and third. And actually, if they lose the second, they can win the third. And so tie the first, lose the second, win the third, they'll win the game. I wonder if that's true. I have to think about that. Tie, lose, win. Look that up later. Not going to do that extemporaneously. Okay, so that is the combinatorics. So we're going to pull for them. It's easy, just say pull for a winner tie in every period. Yeah, if they don't lose a period, they're not going to lose the game. If they're going to lose any period, yeah, I don't like the losing the first. That doesn't look very good at all. Losing the second, if they win the first and win the third, that's probably how that happened. They probably won the first. Tying the first, losing the second. Tying the first, losing the second. They're 0-2-0 in that, so that can't have been it. So they had to have won the first, lose the second, and then win the third. That's how that scenario has to have gone down. Now I'll look into that later, but that most likely how that combination, because the combination of you're looking at the wrong numbers again. Losing or tying the first, losing the second. 1, 3, and 1. Yeah, that's the home numbers. Yeah. Yep. Not. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Losing the second doesn't look very good. Unless they. Let's keep looking at the wrong ones. Maybe I should color code this stuff. Anyway. So winner tie, the periods, losing not so good, and I don't know. I think losing the first period has to be worse than losing the first period. Looks like, well, if they lose the first, win the second, that's not too bad. I don't know. What they can't do is lose two periods, and more likely to lose and tie, and that's not good either. So losing the first period just going to set them up poorly. So we're not going to pull for that. Yeah, I'd say that makes sense. We're not going to pull for them to lose the first period. I think at one point in time I was pulling for them to tie the first and second, and that they have not lost any games with that. I mean, they got an overtime loss, but they're 4-0-1. Tying the first, winning the second, they're 4-0-0. So, yeah, there's a lot of, or tying the second and then winning the third, tying the second, tying the third. Tying the first, tying the second. That's happened 8 times. They're 7-0-1. So, I mean, I guess if they can't win it, at least tie it. Don't want to lose the first period. That's bad. That doesn't work out very well for the Preds. So what about the winning goal? All right. So the winning goal is pretty close between the second and third periods. 36%. Preds home games, 12 times the winning goal scored in the third period, 10 times in the second. When the Preds get the winning goal, very head and shoulders in the third, almost half the games. They've won 17 games at home, and 8 times they have gotten the winning goal in the third period. Next up is 3, so less than half in the second, and shootout, interestingly enough. The opposition, though, winning goal in the second period, most of the time 7 out of 13. It's actually 44% because of the maybe I should do that. Take out the winning goal if it's a regulation win. Maybe that makes more sense than the overall, but because it is 7 out of 13. But 3 extra time losses, 3 in overtime. So 44% in the second period with 7. Next up is 4. So in the third, and then 3 in overtime and 2 in the first. The home team has won 38 times in the Preds games. Home team scoring the winning goal in the third period 13 times. 34%, and 10 times in the second. For the road team, was won 29 times and 10 times in each the second and third. So, yeah. And then the overtime has 5. So 10 in the second, 10 in the third. So that is the winning goal, which takes us to, what does that take us? That takes us to goal scoring. And goal scoring, let's look at the home numbers. The home numbers, the Preds are being outscored in the first period at home, 28-31. So they're being outscored by 3. In the games that they win, they've only outscored the opposition by 4, and they've been outscored by 7 in games that they lose. So all of that looks fairly close. The Preds in the second period are being outscored as well, 35-37. So that's 2. They're outscoring their opponents by 7, 23-16 in the games that they win, and they're being outscored by 9, 12-21 in the games in which they lose. So a bigger differentiation here in the second period. The third period, they're still being outscored in every period except shootouts. And they're being outscored by 4, the biggest delta here in the game. So they're outscored by 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and heavily weighted towards the team that wins. The Preds outscoring their opponents by 14, 25-11. And the Preds being outscored by 18, 28-10 in the third period. Taking a look at empty net goals, the opposition has 10 and the Preds have 7. So that kind of brings it back down to earth a little bit. Only being outscored by 1, taking out the empty nets, and the winning team scoring 18 goals in either direction. Opposition getting 11 in the games that the Preds win, and the Preds getting 10 in the games in which they lose. So Preds outscoring the opponents by 7, taking out the empty nets in the third, and being outscored by 8 in the games that they lose, and taking out the empty nets. So there you go. So not that great. Let's see. What else do we know? Okay, so just looking at average goals per game, the losing team getting 2.2 goals a game. The winning team, if it's the Preds, 3.6, and the opposition 3.9. And that's without the empty net goals. With empty net goals, it's 4 for the Preds and 4.5 for the opposition, 2.2 for the losing team. So, which is interesting because wasn't that 4 goals? Now, the Preds have not played Winnipeg. They have not played Seattle, whoever we're playing tonight. Whoever the guys are coming in tonight, have not played them in Nashville, but the winning team in both of the earlier games did get 4 goals. So losing team got 1 and 2. So 4 goals is a magic number for tonight, I think. Preds get 4 goals in the first period. I think we can call that done. What do you say? Why don't they just do that? Looking at the goal scoring in the scenarios of coming into the second and third period, winning, tied, and losing. Wow, what do you know? The highest of those 6 scenarios is actually coming into the second period tied. So at least it's not losing somewhere like on the road. So let's start there. Second period, coming into the second period tied has happened 16 times. The Preds have scored 14 goals and the opposition 17. So they're being outscored by 3, 14. So the opposition is getting at least 1 goal a game in those scenarios. The outcome 9-4-3. 4-4 in regulation and 5-3 in extra time. So, coming into the second period tied, I guess half the time it gets settled in regulation and half it goes to extra. That's funny. That is funny because all of the extra time situations are tied, coming into second period tied. When they come into the second period winning or come into the second period losing, those games have all been settled in regulation. Funny. Yeah. Okay. I can buy that. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so that's tied. Let's see. The next scenario, losing. That's happened 9 times, coming into the second period losing 9 times, and the Preds have scored 8 goals and the opposition 9. So come in losing, and they're being outscored by 1. Result of those 9 games, 3-6 in regulation. Not a very good record. Coming into the second period winning has happened 8 times, and a lot of scoring in that, 13-11. So that is the only scenario where both teams have more than 1 goal per game on average. The tied scenario for the opposition, they have more than 1. But yeah, so Preds come into the second period winning. They've scored 13 goals to the opponent's 11. They're 5-3, all settled in regulation. 5-3 in regulation. Yeah. And the 5 games that they won, the Preds scored 11 of those goals, and in the 2 that they lost, they scored 3. Opposition a little bit more evenly there. The 5 games that they lost, scoring 4 goals, and the 3 that they won, scoring 7. Yeah, so like the winning team getting 2 goals in the second period is what that looks like. The team that eventually wins. Coming into the second period when the Preds are winning, that is. Yeah, okay. Well, let's hope that's the circumstance tonight. All right, looking at the third period, the most frequent scenario, unfortunately, is to come into the third period losing. That's happened 15 times. The Preds have been outscored by 6, 16-22. 16-22. Now, the opposition does have 9 empty net goals, and the Preds have 1. That math doesn't work out. 22, missing a few goals for the Preds. This number is not right. 1 empty net goal. That means that should be 15, not 15. Yeah, those numbers don't add up. So something's off there. But so if it's 15-13, the Preds are at least outscoring them without the empty nets. But 10 empty net goals is 9 for the opposition. And 9 for the opposition. Anyway, so coming into the third period losing, again, happened 15 times. And the Preds are 3-11-1. 3-11-1. So 2-11 in regulation. 2 of those games did go to extra time. The Preds are 1-1 in the extra time games in that scenario. Next frequent is to come into the third period tied. That's happened 11 times. The Preds have outscored their opponents 13-7. 2 of those are empty net goals, so 11-7. So come into the third period tied, the Preds have a pretty good number of goals. They are 9-1-1. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. Yeah, gosh, these numbers. I got to make sure I'm looking at the right numbers. So 11. So 5-1 in regulation, and then 5 of the games, so half the games settle in regulation, half the games going to extra time. The Preds are 4-1 in the extra time games, 5-1. So coming into the third period tied, Preds seem to do pretty well. Happened 11 times. Coming into the third period losing, not so much. And then coming into the third period winning, the Preds have been outscored 6-10, but they have 4 empty net goals. So they're actually being outscored 2-10 in those 7 games. 4-10 in those 7 games. And their record is 5-1-1. So that's a pretty good record. 5-1 in regulation. 1 game went to extra time and they lost it. Anyway, so 5-1-1. So definitely the best record is coming into the third period tied, 9-1-1, but 5-1-1 still, I'll still take that. So coming to the third period either tied or winning Coming into the third period, losing, bad scenario. However they got there, doesn't matter. 15 times, and they are 3-11-1. So there's a 3. There is a 3. Not like there isn't hope, but and let's see, they've scored 8 goals. 8 goals in the games they lost, but they lost 12 of them. So, well, that's interesting. So here's a fun fact. In the 3 games that the Preds won, the opposition did not score a goal. Did not score a goal in the third period. All 22 goals were in games in which the Preds lost. So the big 0 there. If the Preds come into the third period losing, then they can hold the other team scoreless. They've got a shot. So you're saying there's a chance. Just a quick look here. And it's kind of, I don't know where to put this. But the Preds at home, when they've had 2 days between games, they're 9-8-3. So just some random stat there. Was working on this the other day. Don't know what to do with it. Just like this other stat. How many times? 8 times they have 2 games, 2 days between the games at home. So again, just more stats that I'm working on that I don't know what to do with. We'll figure it out. But either way, that takes us to people to watch. Oh, no. No, we haven't done special team. We haven't done matchups. This takes us to matchups. Jumping ahead. Matchups. Got it. Okay. That's right. We just talked about, that's right. I deviated from talking about goals to something else and so forgot. Oh, Preds are home. Let's look at the right column. Okay. So the Preds, let's start talking about Seattle. Seattle has played 31 games on the road, which is the least of anybody. There's only one other team that's played 31 games. The other 30 teams have played more. The range for road games is 31 to 37. So that's pretty significant. But yeah, 30 teams have played more. The Kraken are 23rd in the league in goal scoring for road teams. 2.77 goals a game. League average is 3. Also not very good in the first period, scoring 0.65 goals for. League average 0.86. So they're 29th in the league in the first period, 20th in the second period, 0.97, with the league average being 1. So at least they're close to average. And then 17th in the third, 1.06, league average 1.07. So they're below average in all 3 periods. Definitely goes up from period to period. No, that's not true either. Yeah, it is. Looking at the wrong number. 20 goals in the first, 20 goals in the first, 30 in the second, and 33 in the third, but below league average in all of that. So given the fact that they're in a playoff position, their goals against is probably pretty good. So overall, for a road team, the Kraken are 17th in the league, 3.13 goals a game, which is slightly below 3.14 average. Also, 21st in the league in the first period, 0.84, league average 0.89. 8th in the second, though, 1.23 goals against when the league average is 1.08, and then dips back down to 21st in the third with 1 goal a game, 1.08 being the league average. So the raw numbers, 26 in the first, 38 in the second, and 31 in the third. So definitely more of a giving up goals in the second period, not giving them up in the first, but they don't like to score them in the first either. So first period for the Kraken, not score filled. Definitely not. Let's see, they have scored 86 goals for and 97 against. So not good. Not good for a playoff team. I think last year, 12 of the 16 teams all had more goals for than against. So right now, the Kraken, not in that scenario. But, 16 teams made it. So 4 teams last year made it with this scenario, and I don't think they made it out of the first round. But I don't have that in front of me right now. As far as the Preds go, the Preds have played 33 games at home, which is in the middle. 5 have played the same, 7 have played less, and 19 have played more. The Preds below average on scoring. They're 22nd in the league for home teams, scoring 3.03 goals a game. League average 3.13. 21st in the first period, scoring 0.85. League average 0.89. 19th in the second, scoring 1.06. League average 1.08. And then 14th in the third, 1.06. League average 1.08. So the Preds also below average in every period. It's funny that even though they're 14th in the league, which is more than half, they're below average. Some other teams, I think, that are scoring a lot more, bringing up the average. But third period for the Preds and the Kraken, the same number, 1.06 in goals scoring. Interesting. So both teams, goals for below average for their particular scenario. Goals against for the Preds are 4th in the league, even though 19 teams have played more. Well, they're 4th in per game, but they're 6th in raw numbers and giving up goals with 19 teams having played more games than them. They're giving up 3.33 goals a game, which is 0.2 more, but they're scoring 0.26 more. Ooh, that 0.06 is going to come into play tonight. Well, you get a 600th of a goal, but that's for other people to work out. So, so overall, the Preds are 4th in per game, giving up goals, 3.33. In the first, they're 10th, 0.94, league average 0.86. The second, they're 6th, 1.12, league average 1. And the third, they're 9th, 1.18, league average 1.07. So they're above average in all 3 periods in giving up goals and below average in all 3 periods in scoring them. And the Kraken only above average in being scored on in the second. So let's hope the Preds can play well in the second, can win the second, because it's going to be their best opportunity given these numbers. Let's move on to special teams. The Preds are at home. We'll start with the penalty kill. Kraken penalty kill 31st, not good. 68.8%, 25 goals against on 80 opportunities. They have not scored a shorthanded goal on the road this year. As far as time shorthanded per games played, they're 29th. And goals against, 5th. So they're 29th in opportunities, but 5th on being scored on. That is awful. Awful. For the Preds, the penalty kill at home is 4th in the league, 83.2%. They've had 17 goals scored on them in 101 opportunities, so they've had 8 less goals scored on them and 21 more opportunities. And they have 3 shorthanded goals. So as far as time shorthanded per games play, 6th. So they are one of the higher home teams getting penalties called against them. But goals against per games played is 22nd. So 6th in opportunities and 22nd on being scored on. That's awesome. I wish that 6th number was lower, but it is what it is. The Preds power play, good. Kraken power play, not so much. Or penalty kill. As far as the power play, a little unexpected segue. Power play for the Preds at home. For the Kraken, they are 9th in the league in power play for road teams, 24.1%, 19 goals for on 79 opportunities. They've had 80 opportunities on the penalty kill and 79 on the power play. They've given up 25 goals and they've scored 19. but ninth in the league with 24.1%. They've given up 3 shorthanded goals. And as far as power play per games played, they're 26th in the league. So the Kraken games don't have as many penalties as a lot of other teams. 29th on the penalty kill, 26th on the power play. Goals for games played, it goes up to 11th. So 26th in opportunities and 11th in scoring. So the power play pretty good for the Kraken. For the Preds at home, they have the 11th ranked power play, 23.2%, 23 goals on 99 opportunities. So they have 4 more goals on 20 more opportunities. They've given up 1 shorthanded goal. And as far as power plays per games played, they're 17th. So right about league average. And goals for per games played goes up to 13th. So both of these teams, the opportunities percentages below the goals for. So both that's good for both teams. The Kraken don't get so many opportunities, but they do seem to take advantage of it. But they have given up 3 shorthanded goals, so maybe they're just a little too aggressive on the power play. But in general, it seems to work for them. Preds pretty good at penalty kill and power play. Kraken not so good at the penalty kill, but don't give up a lot of penalties. So that's special teams. What about taking a look at the percentages for the Preds? The Preds are now at 34% in the first period. They did get a power play goal the other night in the first period. They've got 10 goals on 29 opportunities. Only 11% in the second and 19 in the third. So their power play percentage definitely being anchored by the first period. They've scored 5 goals in the second and 5 goals in the third, with 10 in the first. The third period does have 3 less opportunities, 26 to 29. But the second period has where the bulk of their opportunities, 46, but they've only scored 5 goals in the second period. As far as giving up goals or power plays, they've also surrendered 10 goals in the first, but on 38 opportunities for a 26% effectiveness of the opposition, which goes down to 21% in the second. They've scored 7 goals on 34 opportunities against the Preds, and then down again into the third, 5 goals on 31 opportunities for 16%. So the Preds good in the first and third, and the opposition slow decrease in effectiveness from the first to the third. But yeah, definitely the second period, a weakness for the Preds as far as the power play goes. All right, now that ends the matchups, and now we can talk about people to watch. Right, and so we've got a decent list. What's that, 7 people to talk about? It all starts with number 7, right wing Jordan Eberle. He's first on the goal with 9. That's hard to believe. On the road, 9 goals. 9 goals leads the team. At home, on the road, Nashville's got 12, but 9. And I'm pretty sure I looked at this and made sure of it. But just for grins, I'm going to go look again because this doesn't seem right. But yep, there it is. 9 for Jordan Eberle. Goal scoring, I guess, is fairly even. But yeah, so 9 for Jordan Eberle. He's second on the team in points with 18. He's fourth in time on ice with 1938, and he's second on the team in shots with 63. And then second in goals, a guy I had never heard of before, had to look him up. He's been with the Kraken for 2 years. His name was not on my chart when we played the other 2 times. So kind of surprised, but number 9, center Chandler Stevenson, and today I did get the lineup. Stevenson centers the second line. Eberle is on the first line. And so he's second in goals with 8. He is first in points with 19. And he's third on the team in shooting percentage with 20. So he's got 8 goals on 40 attempts. Leading the team in assists are 2 players. Number 20, right wing Eli Tolvanen, who's injured, may or may not be back tonight, and number 62, defenseman Brandon Montour, who also leads the team in time on ice with 22.50. And then number 29, defenseman Vince Dunn, leads the team in shots with 70. 2 additional players have shooting percentages over 20. Number 79 center Bobby McMahon, who's recently acquired from Toronto. Again, he was my pick to get for Marcia Show. He's got 2 goals in 4 shots when he's only played 1 game at home, and he's got 2 goals on 4 shots, 50%. And then number 38 right wing Yanni Nyman, who has 4 goals on 18 shots. Played most of the season at Coachella and the Coachella Valley Firebirds, but was recalled yesterday. He hasn't played for them since the 22nd of December. So he's been in Coachella for the last few months, and now he's been recalled. Again, he's got a 22.2% shooting percentage, 4 on 18. Nyman, they don't have him projected in the lineup, which I guess is okay. Stevenson centers the second line. McCann. That's not McMahon. McCann. Where is McMahon? Where is McMahon? It's McCann. It's McCann. It's McCann. It's McCann. It's McCann. It's not McMahon. Come on. McCann. All right. Too many M's and C's. Yeah. Okay. McCann. Yeah, he's the left wing on the second line. No, McMahon. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. It is McMahon. I knew it was McMahon. They got a McMahon and a McCann. Now, come on. And they're both left wings. Come on. All right, so which one? Now I'm confused. They've got a McMahon and a McCann. Oh, goodness gracious. But it is McMahon. He's 5th on the team in shooting percentage. Bobby McMahon. Okay, got that right. Production staff got it right too. They got a McMahon and a McCann. Oh my gosh. You know, the 3 Pedersons on Vancouver, I thought that was bad. This is better, I guess, but you definitely have to pay attention. Their numbers are at least far enough apart, 74 and 19. So McMahon is on the first line with Eberle. I'd say the first 2 lines definitely have a lot of power in them. And then, Montour is first, but they show him on the second line of defense. Second line of defense, but he's got the most ice time. Vince Dunn is on the first line, and he's got the most shots. So go figure. Usually the person on the ice the most has the most shots, but at least if it's a defenseman. But there you go. Other stats worth talking about. Stevenson has the worst plus-minus for Seattle, -13, which is 4 more than Tolvanen. He's got the worst by 4. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like I said, McMahon's played 1 game at home, and Nyman's last game was December 22nd. And that takes us to Nashville. Nashville, that's solidified around players with 9 in their number. At home, number 91, center Steven Stamkos leads the team with 19 goals. He's 3rd in points with 24. 2nd in shots with 89. Has a 23.2% shooting percentage here at home. So that's 19 goals on 82 shots. So he leads the team in goals and he leads in shooting percentage. That's exciting. And then we got number 9 left wing Philip Forsberg, who's 2nd on the team in goals with 18, leads the team tied at first with 33, and he leads the team in shots with 116. Number 90, Mr. Stats center Ryan O'Reilly, third on the team in goals with 12, first in assists with 21, so he's tied with Forsberg with 33 points. He's third in ice time with 23. And then we've got the captain, number 59, defenseman Roman Josi, second in assists with 20, tops in ice time, 24:08. So 91, 9, 90, 59. Hut. There's a 9 in the number. Look out. I don't. Somebody else has got a 9 in their number, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm going to figure. Ozzy Weisblatt, 97. Look out for him for a different reason. 59 is Josi. Oh, I guess a Noonan, 29. But he's, goaltender, not going to be skating. Goaltenders, you usually know where they're at. Not a lot of question. So anyway, that is Nashville. That takes us to momentum. So Seattle is 14-13-4 on the road. They did lose their last game. They had 2 games that they won before that and 4 that they lost. So they're 4-6-0 in their last 10. Is the beginning of the road trip. They were 1-0 on their last road trip. They are 6-11-1 versus the Central Division. On the road, 3-5-0. They have beaten Winnipeg, St. Louis, and Chicago on the road and lost to Dallas twice, to Utah twice, and to St. Louis. So on the road, they've both beaten and lost to St. Louis, but lost to Dallas twice and Utah twice, and beaten Winnipeg and Chicago. At home, they've beaten Chicago, Winnipeg, and Nashville. So, and then lost again to Dallas, and St. Louis, Nashville, Colorado twice, and to Minnesota. They do have an overtime loss to Minnesota as well. So that's the story there. For Nashville, they are at home. They are at home. They are at home. And at home, got it, 17-13-3. Yes, did not update that. Let's take a look there, because I don't think that's right either. I did not, this part of the script did not get updated because they did win their last game in a shootout. They did lose 2 before that, and then kind of alternated wins and losses before that. Had a 3-game losing streak that ended recently. So 4-4-2 in the last 10. And this is the beginning of a homestand for the Preds. The last time they were at home, they beat Boston. And that was the only game in the homestand. And that was, surrounded by losses. But Boston, they did win the last game they had here at home. They are 10-9-4 against the Pacific, which is the best division for them to play. 10-9-4. That's not right. That's the Central. I know this got updated. All right. They're 8-5-2. My script not updated this part of it, so we'll just have to go off the numbers there. 8-5-2 against the Pacific, which is the division they have the most success against. 8-5-2. At home, they are 5-1-1. Against the Pacific, they are 3-1 in regulation, 1-1 in overtime, and 1-0 in a shootout. At home, they lost to Anaheim. They beat Calgary twice. Had an overtime win versus Edmonton, and a regulation win and an overtime loss against Vancouver. So that's what they have done. But again, 5-1-1 against the Pacific Division at home. Well, I can say at Nashville because the game that was at home that wasn't in Nashville was against Pittsburgh. So still. Anyway, I'll get over it, I think, just like I got over the shorthanded goal. Not. anyway, yeah, so a lot to play for tonight. Seattle is in a playoff position. The Preds are not. The Preds are trying to get there. They need to pick up the pace a little bit. A couple of that loss to Vancouver, even in overtime, was that was unfortunate. And then had hoped for better against Edmonton. I was going to say the second wildcard team would be playing Colorado, but that's in doubt now even. It'll be either Colorado or Dallas, so at least it'll be a Central Division matchup for whomever gets the second wildcard spot. Unlikely to be the Ducks. I mean, the Colorado is a 20-point advantage over the Ducks, who are in first in the Pacific, so the top seed in the West is, unless there's a massive collapse by all three teams, because Minnesota's got a 12-point gap on Anaheim too. 78 points would put Anaheim fourth in the Central, would put them fifth in the Metropolitan, and sixth in the Atlantic. So 78 points, not exemplary by any means, but even at that, their fourth place team still fighting it out, has a wild card spot. And they've got two other teams that are fighting for it as well, the Kings and the Sharks. I think we can rule out Calgary and Vancouver. And it's down to the Sharks, Kings, Kraken in the Pacific, with potentially Edmonton's jumped up over Vegas, so it's a pretty good gap, but it's not saying if one of the Pacific teams got hot, they couldn't wind up in one of the three top spots. Unlikely for the top three spots in the Central not to be Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. But Utah, Nashville, Winnipeg, and maybe St. Louis fighting for playoff spots. Utah looking pretty solid in the first wild card spot. So Nashville, Winnipeg, St. Louis in the Central looking for the second wild card spot. So that's pretty good. 6 teams still vying it out for the second wild card spot. Maybe even the first wild card spot, but then that would be 7 teams. So, only 2-3 teams that you really would say 62 points for Chicago. I'd say you'd have to. I mean, if they went on a run, it'd be something else. But for them to go on a run at this point and make the playoffs. They've got 15 games left. The best they could do is 92 points. So that wouldn't be. Well, I guess Minnesota is at 90 right now, so they couldn't make. Couldn't make one of the divisional spots, even with a complete collapse by everybody. 92 could be a playoff spot, but most likely it's going to take more points than that to be in the first and second wildcard teams. So probably about the mid-90s is what it's looking like. And the Blues can get, they've got 14 games left, so that's 28 points. So that'd be 93. So maybe a little bit of a stretch for them too, but anyway, so that's the teams fighting out for the playoff spot, and the Preds and the Kraken, 2 of those teams fighting for the same spot, playing tonight. It's going to be a big game, and go Preds. Got tickets, going to be there at least for the first 2 periods. Hopefully by that time the Preds are winning big, and we can just listen to the victory lap in the 3rd period on the way home. So anyway, thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.